I'm Samuel White, and I'm a missionary to Costa Rica. I was born and raised here on the field. I've been here now as a missionary for 14 years. Costa Rica is a country in between Panama and Nicaragua. It's about 4 million people population. We're working here in Palmares, which is a very Catholic town. One of the most, probably one of the most Catholic towns we've ever worked with. We have a church here in Palmares. We run about 150 people. We have the seminary on the same campus, same property, you can say. And right now we don't have any students living here, but we have about 12 students that study at night. The Lord called me down here to Costa Rica first because we needed an infrastructure and we need somebody to build it. And before I answered to the call to be a missionary, I was in construction in Atlanta. I did a lot of remodeling, a lot of building, and the Lord was working on my heart, and He was really working on it, really convincing me, and to the point that I finally gave up, and I said, I'm just going to serve the Lord. The Lord called me. I came down to Costa Rica. Dad was already here. He actually needed somebody to help him because he was alone, and Dad wanted to develop a Bible college. Costa Rica needs a Bible college. Central America needs a Bible college. There's very few of them, and most of the Bible college or seminaries are all, and every missionary does their own thing, and they really are not producing good quality pastors and missionaries because they're not getting really good training. And one of our visions is that we like to take, students from all over the country, all over Latin America, even all the way to Spain, and bring them here and turn them into four-wheel drive missionaries, and teach them how to work, keep them here for 3 or 4 years. Give them good, solid Bible doctrine, and then send them out. And one of my visions working here at the Bible College is to go out with them and start churches with them, and help them build, help them have tent meetings, help them with vehicles, help everything that's material and spiritual. I've been doing this all my life as a missionary kid, so a lot of this stuff comes just naturally, in second hand. We just do it because that's how I was raised all my life. Go out and start churches and start from nothing, just in somebody's house, somebody's yard. And but the biggest need in these countries is men, is missionaries, is pastors, men that are well trained, that are faithful, and that really answer to the call and continue like that all their life. Well, we started about 14 years ago. Dad first, he got offered a property close to the main city. The main city is 2 million people. It's the biggest city in Costa Rica. Dad got offered this property as a good Christian loan, and I want to explain that. The missionary was leaving. The Lord called him to Mexico. They're running many churches up there, but he told Dad, I've seen your ministry, I've seen your testimony. I know you turn things into ministry and you make them work. And he said, I'm going to give you this property. You just pay me a certain amount of money every month, no interest, no down payment. Just pay me what I put into it. And we did that for 13 years. We had the property paid off. And now we've been just doing all the building. The thing is that at the beginning, Dad didn't want this property. It was a hole. We even call it in Spanish the hole, the hueco. And it was just not, I guess it wasn't a good idea to come into a place like this and have to move a lot of dirt and land around, which we end up doing. We ended up having to move part of a hill for our ball field and from some flat land. We didn't have much to build on, so we had to change a lot of things around. And the Lord has done all that in these last 14 years. We didn't have very high expectations because of the land, but now, the Lord just He's got another plan, and you can't see it. The first couple of years, it takes a while to see sometimes what God wants in our life and what He wants for the ministry that He wants you to do. But the history is, we started. Dad and I started together. And we started the church first, and then we a year or two later we started the seminary, and we've been growing ever since. The vision that we have here in Palomares with the church and seminary is that we can establish other churches. So we want a good, solid church, like I would say a mother church, and then we like to have all kinds of daughter churches, starting from the closest town to the furthest. We support missionaries. This church in Palomares supports missionaries in Panama, and we support missionaries in other parts of Central America. But we really want to finish Costa Rica. We really want to get churches started everywhere. Costa Rica, Latin America is not done. There's thousands of cities and towns in Latin America that don't have churches. And one of the reasons why they don't have churches, they don't have pastors, and they don't have men that are trained. And that's our vision, our long-term and short-term vision. A moment to remember in our ministry are usually our camps, where we see a lot of teenagers come in, teenagers from the city, teenagers that have never even been in any kind of real Christian environment. They grew up Catholic all their life, which basically means they don't have anything. They've never heard the Bible, and to watch the transformation take place during that whole week is really heartwarming. It's really fulfilling to see that, how God works on their hearts. We preach to them sometimes 3 times a day, and we fill them with the Bible, and God does something that way. He does. We've seen a lot of kids saved during our camps. Now our camp ministry is a different than the seminary and the church. We only have a few camps a year, and it's on a different piece of property. We've been working camps since 1983, and there's been thousands of souls saved at camp. Thousands of young teenagers giving themselves to the Lord. A lot of them end up in the ministry with us, and we training them. So probably some of the best moments that we had on the ministry is our camps. And just because we see so many souls saved there, young souls that we know that they're at the beginning of their life, and we know that the Lord is going to really use those a lot more. They have a lot more to give. Well, probably one of the main needs any missionary that works in countries like this is a good vehicle. We're looking to get a better vehicle, and this is a constant need for missionaries. I mean, we literally destroy our cars. We haul people, we haul material, we'll haul animals, anything. And after a while, the car is already used when we buy it, and they just get destroyed. But one of our needs is to get a good vehicle, good economical vehicle. The gas prices here are over $6 a gallon, and we need something cheap that's reliable. The other need would be to finish our home. A lot of the churches have already helped us with this. A lot of our supporting churches, and we thank you very much. But we need to finish our home. We got it standing up. It took us 2 or 3 months to stand it up with the materials, but we need to finish it. Yeah, our support level has always been low. Being a missionary kid, we learned to live a lot like the Costa Ricans do. We don't have a lot of fancy things, or a lot of, we don't spend our money on a lot of material things. So we've learned to live with very little. Our support level is about 25% of an average missionary, and we right now, as we continue to expand in the seminary and grow, we're going to need more support. And I'm hoping to raise my support for the next couple of years, going back to the States 1 month out of the year, or 1 month every 6 months. And we're serious. Probably this is the biggest need that we have, is our support. My plans are to go 1 month out of the year to raise support, because we're so dedicated to the field here, and we have such great needs economically, material. The students have needs, and I have projects of building a lot more things in infrastructure here on the seminary. So my support level is going to. I got to change. I can't live no longer just as surviving on the mission field with my family, but now I have projects in my heart and things that we need done in our seminary so we can operate properly. Another reason why we are just going to go do short trip raising support is because we really can't leave the field here. We are very needed. We work with the young people. We work with our students. We work with camps. We work in the church. We have visitation. We have new work started. And when we leave, it leaves a big hole because we've been here so long, and we don't want to do that. We really don't want to leave the field. We don't want to dedicate years and years to raising support. I never could do that. So we just want to do short trips, and I believe the Lord will bless us. Well, our vision of leaders is somebody that's really capable of being a missionary anywhere, and we train them mostly in our seminary with a lot of experience teaching. It's hands-on, and I like the term that a Spaniard used. One of our students that we had here from Spain, he said, "Man, you guys train people four-wheel drive." And I like that term, and it's true. We need people that it's four-wheel drive, and people that are really called, and we really try to pick those guys that are really called out, because those are the ones that are going to be faithful. And it's a huge need here in Costa Rica. Leadership is a huge need, and not a lot of people are training good leaders. You see a lot of missionaries in Latin American countries, and they're struggling with this, and we want to really meet that need. To train strong, God-called pastors and missionaries and evangelists. Yeah, we had an earthquake in 2012, I believe, and my brother and I lived in the second floor of this dining hall and activity building, and I had just remodeled my part of the building. Spent all my savings and a lot of money doing it, a lot of work. 2 years, me and my wife did all the work. And when the earthquake hit, nothing happened. We didn't see that underneath the building, the wall, the main foundation of the building broke. It was a 33-meter wall by 12 feet high. It was probably about 60 inches thick, and it had broken. And we were in the middle. We were coming on the rainy season, and one of the big rainstorms that we had, it rained all day, really hard, and ended up blowing in that wall. It just collapsed. One of the walls collapsed. 30% of the wall collapsed on top of all of our dining hall tables. And if anybody would have been there, they would have been killed. I mean, there was parts of the walls were the size of a Volkswagen. And it was really a hard time. Not at the moment. It was just something nothing like that had ever happened to us. But it was where the wall collapsed was right underneath my house that I had just finished remodeling for 2 years. It caused my brother and I to have to move. We had to make a hard decision to tear down the whole building. I mean, just 30% of the building collapsed. We had to tear down everything because it was going to be more expensive to rebuild the foundation than to do the whole thing again. It was just, the building is 80 years old. It used to be an old coffee processing building where they process coffee in the bottom part where the wall fell, and they would store it in the top part where we live. It was difficult. Jonathan had to move into his church building and remodel an apartment there so he could live, and I had to move into one of the seminary cabins that we had, and we lived there for 2 years. It was difficult. Our kids were in school. A lot of things were going on. And now we're so blessed to have our own home after we've been planning to build our home for about 4 years. Now I was really planning on building my home, but I ended up remodeling the top part of that old building. So I was going to use whatever wood and materials that I had acquired and saved for the seminary. But now the Lord has blessed us, and we had a chance to build our home this year, and we're living in it, and we're really blessed, and we really grateful for all the churches that helped us. We had huge amounts of blessing come in from the churches that support us. Some of the pictures that you see there in the background, some of the white architectural plans, is the new building that's going to be our new sanctuary. And that is standing on top of what used to be, it used to be our dining hall and fellowship area, and that's what the earthquake took down. And so this new building that we're putting up is already roofed, and we're looking for the funds to finish it. But we're looking for funds in our Costa Rican churches, because we believe that they need to learn as well to take up, where a lot of the American churches have left off. We do believe that they should support themselves and be able to pay for their own buildings. But that's what this building is behind me. It's going to be a multi-purpose building, sanctuary, and maybe a small gym or an activity building as well. Yes, I just want to take the time also to thank the churches that take the time and watch this video, and have also dedicated their ministries and churches to supporting pastors and missionaries and praying for them. Thank you very much. We have to understand that God does everything, and if there's no prayer in these ministries, you can really forget that God is going to do anything. We have to pray. We have to ask. We have to be persistent in praying for our missionaries. And I thank all the churches for doing this for years and years and years, starting from my dad all the way to me, and then hopefully my own kids will be missionaries too, and you can continue praying for us. Thank you very much. My name is Samuel White. This is my wife Nina. This is my oldest daughter Emily, my youngest son Ethan, and we just want to thank you for your prayers over the many years that y'all have supported us.